The following podcast contains materials that may be traumatizing to some audiences. If you believe you have information about human trafficking, call the National Human Trafficking Toll-Free Hotline at 1-888-373-7888. Anti-trafficking hotline advocates are available 24/7.
Let's talk about R. Kelly, because this is another horrible, horrible case.
A horrible human being again.
Yeah, horrible. Yeah, again, every time we talk about a famous person on here, it's literally just horrible things.
It's like, but before that, let's make him sound good for a second, right?
Yeah, this is why we thought he was cool and we liked him when we were growing up. But this is all the bad shit he's done, and this is why nobody should ever support any of these people.
R. Kelly, dude. R. Kelly for me, and probably R. Kelly for you. You know him. We know him from his hit song Ignition.
Yes.
Right? We always out hot and fresh out the kitchen for sure.
I'm fresh out the kitchen.
But maybe that's how we know him. But let's just say maybe our parents, the way they know him, is from that song. I believe I Can Fly.
Yeah.
Which everyone and their grandmama freaking knows that song.
Everybody knows it.
And literally, that's the song that put R. Kelly on the map. He won 3 Grammys with that. After that, he was named Best R&B Singer. But I don't like making him sound too hot now that I know so much about him.
Yeah. Oh no. And this is a lot. This is like the Bill Cosby thing is just like mind blowing to me. I don't know. And then this makes it 10 times worse. Like, I don't know. This is even worse. There's no other way of putting it. Like, this is a horrific thing that he's done. You go for it.
Okay, so starting off, let's just say R. Kelly started getting all famous. He started with his I Believe I Can Fly, and then he released the album is called Coming Out the Closet. And then that's like kind of what Michael Jackson did in a way, where he would put like a movie in his song, in a song, right, in the video.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he did, but with the whole album, and it was almost like a movie. And for that like blew him up. He started going on tours, started going everywhere, and started meeting a lot of women. Mr. R. Kelly, or the R stands for Robert.
When I saw that his real name was Robert, I was like, Robert? Really?
Right. It throws off the how do I say, like, the swag, because you think R. Kelly, you're like, that shit's kind of hard, and then
but if
like,
you just
it's
do
Robert Kelly.
Have you ever heard that song Ignition? That guy Robert sings it. Like, I don't know. It doesn't sound good. That's why he goes by a fake name, I guess.
Okay, so really off, dude. From the 1990s, there started to appear cases from people accusing him, like, I was with him when I was 14.
Yeah.
He was around me when I was 14, 15. And the thing is, they would have these court cases, but they would settle so they wouldn't become public.
Yeah.
And the earliest case starts off from 1991, which, again, most of these people that come out their names don't come out, aren't coming out in public just because of their own reasons.
Yeah.
Or just what happened. Or how do I say? Because I looked up the first couple cases.
Well, it'd be embarrassing, too, to like have to live through this in a public light like this. And
they were underage, and the information, they don't want to come out in public. They don't want to be that person that, it's just bad. Again, another case came out 1998, literally 2 years after the first one. Same thing. It's like the girls he was going after were between 13 and 16.
Yeah.
Because there's 4 cases that literally go back to back: 1996, 1998, 2001, and 2003. And these girls were all between the age of, like I said, 13 to 16.
That's insane, dude.
And around this time, he met this really, really popular, or how do I say, really good singer, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
And they had a really, it's so weird when they talk about it, because a lot of people say, you know, he was grooming her, and then a lot of people say that, you know, he was messing around with her, and there was a lot of weird stuff that went with her. The popular thing with them is that when she was 15, he falsified documents and married her legally.
He was 27 at the time too.
27, damn. So there we go. And he legally changed her name to 18, just so they can be married. And he did this all under the radar, under everyone's noses. Like, no one knew about this, just them.
Well, and then I also know that during all like his cases and stuff, one of his former managers testified that R. Kelly actually like bribed a government worker to get a fake ID for Aaliyah so that they could get married.
Oh, damn. So that's how they did it? That's
Yeah.
wild.
So they lied on the marriage certificate saying that she was 18, but she was only 15 years old, dude. That's wild as fuck.
Oh my
Like,
God.
that's disgusting. That is literally disgusting. But then, did you know that Aaliyah ended up dying in a plane
Yeah.
crash?
Yeah, okay, so here's where I was just getting with that. There's another famous singer that you know is pretty come up. His name's Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? Jay-Z had before he started Def Jam Records, he had another company, another music studio called Rockefeller Studios or something like that, or Records. And that was two people running that. It was Jay-Z and an artist named Dam Dash.
His
Dash.
name's weird.
Yeah. Dam Dash was the guy literally dated Aaliyah right after R. Kelly had done all that nastiness with her.
Yeah.
And married her, and then, you know, basically brought her up, made her famous. Dame Dash came out, you know, saying that I know what he did. Like, I know what R. Kelly did. Aaliyah told me everything. And
Dang.
And the thing is, you know, they're famous, so he didn't go to the police. He didn't say anything, so they had to keep that shit hidden. Dame Dash was really good friends with Jay-Z, so you know what he did? He told Jay-Z everything. So Jay-Z knew everything, apart from that too. So there's three people right here that knew that knew what was going on.
And then R. Kelly also did like an autobiography, right?
Yeah.
And in his autobiography, he did not even mention Aaliyah's name in it at all.
Oh my God.
Weird, right?
That is weird.
In his autobiography, nothing. Like, as if nothing ever happened. But then in an interview, this was like recent, well, not recent, this was in 2016. He described them as like being best friends. But when they asked him about the marriage, he said, I'll never have that conversation with anyone out of respect for Aaliyah and her mother and father who have asked me not to personally.
God, see, okay, so what I was going to, Miranda, is, you know how she said that we said that Aaliyah died, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have this whole conspiracy, you know, just that I thought about it.
Yeah.
About it, you know, a lot of people probably come to the conclusion too, but I think they killed Aaliyah because she knew more than they said.
Yeah.
Because she died going to film a video in the Bahamas. You know, it was during her music era. And coming back, the plane like crashed 10 minutes after.
Yeah.
But before that, her boyfriend, the guy said, Dame Dash, she had been texting him saying that, you know, like, oh, the plane feels weird. That's what Aaliyah told her.
Oh,
told
shit.
him. And then he said, you know, don't get on it. Oh, she's like, well, how am I going to get home? This and that. So she got on. And then she had a plane crash. But like I said, like I was telling you, if this guy, the Dame Dash, knew everything and Jay-Z knew everything.
Yeah.
And it was something that was on R. Kelly. You know, that's three powerful people.
Yeah.
You know, and this person, Aaliyah, knew everything. So they might have had to get rid of her so she wouldn't talk on R. Kelly.
Well, and you know, I don't think we were talking about this at work the other day about Jay-Z. and how, like, yeah, once he met Beyonce, I think he changed a lot. But I mean, he wasn't always this like great guy. Like he had a life of crime too. Like he did bad stuff, and you can hear it in some of his songs. You know, I think he used to have like drug problems and stuff too. So who knows if she had something on all of them, or just R. Kelly, or who knows? That I mean, that could be a good theory. Jesus.
Okay, so and then let me hit you with this, right?
Mhm.
So right after Aaliyah dies, right, they have this funeral and all this shit goes on. So basically, you know, Dame Dash and Jay-Z, they should be enemies with R. Kelly because they know everything that he did to Aaliyah, right?
Yeah.
Just they shouldn't be homies. They shouldn't get along.
Yeah.
Right after all this happened, Jay-Z and R. Kelly released the Best of Both Worlds tour. They got together. They went under this guy's name. They went under this guy's nose. Sorry. And they're like, fuck them. We're going to do our own thing. And they joined together. So imagine, Miranda, like, let's just say me and you, we're running this company. We're in the me and Weezy's industry. I'm just kidding. I tell you, I hate someone, like, with all my heart, right? Like, they did me dirty. You know, they sold my company when I first started, and I had to build a new company.
Yeah.
And then it would you meet them, and then you associate with them, and then you cut me out. And that's what they did to this guy. They associate together, and then they cut him out. And then right after this, Jay-Z started Def Jam Records. So he left Rockefeller Records, which was which was, you know, him and this guy, and started his own company. So which was super suspicious.
Yeah, that is suspicious as fuck. Now everything always goes together like this. Like there's never any way for it like not to combine into each other. So everyone's sus, dude. All these fucking famous people.
One thing that this is just one thing that R. Kelly did that sparked up all that stuff. And this is just one bad thing that he did.
Well, and then what year did Aaliyah died in 2001, right? Yeah, 2001 she died. Yes. So before she gets in the plane crash and everything, it says that after they got married, they actually annulled that marriage like just a couple months later, like at the beginning of 95. But still, very weird. And then, like you were saying, the cases started like in the 90s, right? This isn't new stuff. So in 96, this is when one of those first girls comes out, and her name's Tiffany. She sued him for like emotional distress and personal injuries and whatever. When she took him, they ended up settling this out of court, like you said, so that it's not all over the place. She was trying to get $10 million in damages, but ended up, you know what she actually ended up having to settle for when the case was done?
How much?
$250,000 is all she got.
Oh my God. She got a $250,000 for... Oh, man.
Yeah, she said that they had sex, and she was only 15 and he was 24. And then when she turned 18, the relationship stopped. Like when she was actually of age.
So how old are you? 18?
Too old. That's what
it's like Leonardo DiCaprio, dude. He's like when you're about to turn 25 and you're Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Well, and then it just kept getting worse and worse. Because then he had an intern, and then the same year Aaliyah dies, his intern comes forward and does the same thing. Said, okay, this guy, she was only 17 when bad stuff was happening to her. Her name is Tracy Sampson. I got quotes from her. She said that he treated her as a personal sex object, and that he tried to control every aspect of my life, including who I see and where I could go. They settled out of court too, Jesus.
Okay, bro. So I have something on that. Just how you said that. Every girl that he would date or go out with or meet, he was like that. He was very controlling. He would literally force them not to look at him or look at other people. Like he would be super controlling. He would how do I say? He would forbid them even from talking like their situation on what's going on with R. Kelly to other people. He would be like, you know, if you say something, I'll kill you.
The fact that he was getting away with doing stuff like this for so long is just like insane to me.
Okay, bro. So we're gonna go a little bit forward in time.
Okay.
We're gonna go to 2018. He released a song. It's literally called "I Admit I Did It."
What the hell? Okay, so before this, this is kind of like right back to the Aaliyah time too, which
Yes.
I'm wondering if this song is about this or if it's about something else. So he in 2002, two other women had come forward. So one of the ladies came forward and said that he impregnated her while she was a minor and then forced her to get an abortion. And this is like in April of 2002. Then another one this next month after this other lady came forward, she said, I'm going to do the same thing. She came forward and said, R. Kelly took a video of us having sex without me knowing and allegedly, sold it to people. And I'm pretty sure that's the infamous thing that we all know about is where he peed on someone.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the video where where they tell you if you look up R. Kelly triple X,
Yeah, that's what it is.
just know you're a pedophile.
It was a little kid and he videotaped himself having sex with her and like urinating on her and like that's not it's like fucked up to even say it. Like that's how it's horrible.
Yeah.
Then 2 months later, he actually got charged with 21 counts of making a child sex video. Dude, like that's disgusting.
Okay, so probably this song, dude, is okay. So literally everything that you just talked about.
Yeah.
It's literally that he talks about how in the song he just says like how he got away with it, right? Because of what you said, what we were talking about with Bill Cosby and the lawyer, how he said, I said they have shit in common, how they got away with the statute of limitations. That's literally what this song's about, how it's been 30 years and they won't do shit. That's literally what he's saying.
And the other thing that he's talking about too is that those two cases that I was just telling you about, the sex tape one and the abortion, they both got settled. I don't know for how much outside of court in exchange for them signing NDAs, so they can never even talk about that again.
So Miranda, you know how in the Danny Masterson case,
mm-hmm.
you know how these women signed NDAs,
mm-hmm.
but they broke them just to speak out, and then they joined these other women. So R. Kelly had the same thing happen to him. There was two women. Those two women actually broke their NDAs and spoke out, and I'm pretty sure you can hear their stories in the documentary, the Surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Because they talk about stuff like it was super similar to what you just said. So I'm assuming they broke their NDAs and spoke out.
It took 6 years for the actual trial for court for the videotape incident, because someone actually leaked this tape to Chicago Sun-Times. They ended up like passing it on to police, and the police had to call the FBI in and everything to make sure it was authentic, because you could fake something like that. He posted bail right away, which was $750,000. He gets out of jail, denies everything in an interview, but then it took 6 years for this case to even go to trial. In the meantime, he was still releasing music and he was getting like nominated for awards and shit. But
so it's like the same thing as Bill Cosby. Like they're getting accused, they're doing all this, but all of a sudden they win a Grammy. They get best nominated, singer. It's like how is
that even happening? And then
exactly.
Here this part is when they did actually go to court on this case, the jury concluded that they can't prove that the girl on the tape was a minor, so there's really nothing they can do about it. So he was found not guilty on all counts, dude.
And that's something happened similar to that in the sex cult case, Miranda. R. Kelly was running a sex cult See, they say compound in Chicago.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean? Does that mean house? Or does that mean like your yard? Because in Chicago, there's no a compound. It would be like a warehouse.
Yeah, that's what I would think of when you say compound. It could have just been like a really big house. I'm not sure.
I'm assuming it was a house with like a garage, like a work, like how do I say, like a bay garage, is what I would assume. like for an RV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was this was back was it 2008.
Okay.
This was back in 2008. There was one woman that spoke out of what was going on and all this, which I assume she was the only woman brave enough to come out and say it, because
Yeah.
they're getting brainwashed. He was running a sex cult, is what they say. Allegedly.
Yeah.
We don't know, because a lot of this stuff, it does say it's there, but what if it was something else? So she came out and spoke out. Basically said that she was invited over to this, like I said, compound in Chicago. It was a big house. It was a big area. R. Kelly basically, at first he was nicest person ever, this and that.
Yeah.
And basically threw her in a room. There was 4 other women in there, or 5 other women in there. And what she said is that they were forbidden to speaking to each other, and that random men would just come in, and they would, we don't want to speak, but they would do stuff to them, right?
Well, and then when I was reading about that too, the girls basically said that he dictated everything, like what they ate, how they could dress, when they could take a shower, when they can sleep, when they, engage in activities with him, sexual activities and stuff, that he recorded it all. He also took their phones away so they couldn't contact their family or friends anymore. And the allegations actually came from 3 former employees, and the parents of those kids came forward too.
God.
Because these girls just vanished off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
That I guess he was doing it because, or the way he was getting them, he wasn't just kidnapping them off the streets, but he was baiting them in, like you said, acting nice, acting cool, oh my God, R. Kelly, right? And then he would seduce them basically, because they would approach him and be like, oh, it's R. Kelly, and then they would say oh, I want to be in a music video, or I want to be a singer, and he'd be like, oh, well, you're real cute, come with me, I'll teach you, and then he would just take them in like that.
Yeah, dude. I guess it's just it's R. Kelly, dude. They think, oh, this guy's amazing. He's the best singer.
And this was all in 2017. This is recent events, when the sex cult is what they're calling it, it was a cult type of thing when that was happening. And even before that, after that case we had just talked about with the video and the 21 counts, just being not guilty on all of them, he was arrested a second time later on. And he was charged with 12 more counts of producing child sex abuse images in Florida. Because when they arrested him, they seized the camera, which had images of him having sex with an underage girl on there.
Oh my God! See, it's just the more you look into it, the more it gets worse.
Well, and the charges were all dropped for this one too, because a judge agreed with all his lawyers that the police lacked sufficient evidence to justify a search. So because they just searched him because they're oh, it's R. Kelly, let's get him. And he was there is no reason that they should have done a search. So then everything was just okay, I'm gonna have to drop the charges of all this horrible stuff because you're right. What?
And what's crazy, dude, is that all this shit that we're talking about. The document. I feel the only reason this guy is actually in jail now is because of that documentary that came out, The Surviving R. Kelly. Because then you saw that the allegations and everything that he was acquitted for, and from fucking 1996 to now, it was true. They're not lying. All the shit that he was getting acquitted for, all these people that came out and spoke out. Because there was even people I saw, because there was clips and stuff that I was watching, and there's even people that were in jail with him speaking out against them.
Yeah.
This guy, he's not right in the head.
One of the girls actually, when she came forward, said that he actually starved her.
Oh
that way he could use that against her and just abuse her and hit her and just do all the worst things that you can think of. And that another lady had actually that same lady who said that being in his inner circle and stuff, one of his other friends at a party, she overheard him say oh, if you see any young girls, girls that look young, let me know.
Damn.
I want to meet them. Yeah, and that it was a known thing that he would like younger women.
See that I feel in his friend group, or even I said, this guy, the Dame Dash and Jay-Z, I'm pretty sure they knew him. Jay-Z being on the tour with this guy, of course he was with underage girls. Of course he saw that shit.
Yeah.
They just never spoke out against him, The music industry protects its people, I guess. One last thing, Miranda,
Go ahead.
that I'm gonna hit you with another conspiracy theory that
Yeah.
they say that the reason that that R. Kelly married Aaliyah at a young age was because he got her pregnant,
I could see that, dude.
and I think she had a miscarriage, is what they say, and that's why the wedding was annulled and all that.
I could see it. I could see it like that. That
And
would all make sense, you know?
it would, and then here's the thing, and I heard another clip like saying that Aaliyah was basically the key to taking down R. Kelly.
Dang. I could see this all like being related back to Aaliyah in the first place. Like she knew, and that's wild. Well, and then did you see that hashtag? This was like in 2018. Mute R. Kelly.
You
It
R.
was
Kelly?
hashtag mute, like
Okay, I
MUT.
saw some. Was it because he was coming on all these interviews?
Well, he not only that, but they were trying to like get his record label to like cut ties with him because at this point in 2018 they were still promoting him.
They were still with him.
They were still with him. He still had concerts scheduled, dude. And so
So
they,
you're telling me Def Jam Records was still supporting this guy?
I don't know, it was a record label called RCA.
Oh, RCA.
Yeah,
Okay.
RCA. So the Mute R. Kelly campaign, like it was just like people like us, you know, everyone lobbied together. They tried to get his record label to cut ties with him. They also went after like concert promoters, ticket sales, streaming services. Like they literally went to Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora. All of them agreed to, you know, demote R. Kelly's songs from all their playlists, which was later reversed because you can still go on Spotify and stuff and listen to them. But it worked at the time.
So this dude was. It's just like to those other cases about the criminals still getting money in prison. It's like he's still making money because his music's still getting streamed. Like,
Well,
shouldn't
then
they just cut
everything.
him off from getting money and give it to like the record label? Oh, wait, no, that
I don't
doesn't
know.
make
I
sense
don't know
either.
how it would work, but yeah, he's still getting money. And just like hear this, around the same time when all this stuff is going on, his lawyer, his publicist, and his personal assistant all quit. And they said, "Oh, it's not related to any of the allegations related to his social life. Like it's just a coincidence that we're all leaving." So
Okay,
then,
dude, and then the lawyer leaving, right?
yep,
Okay,
the
so
lawyer
let me
leaving,
hit you.
bro.
Let me bring you back to. Oh, sorry, dude. I keep on bringing you back to Aaliyah. But
It's okay.
basically, his lawyer, dude, confirmed that everything that R. Kelly was accused of with Aaliyah was true. Since he wasn't working with him anymore, he was like, "Fuck it."
With the money thing too, you go back to like you said, he was still getting money. So at this time, remember I said he was still like being promoted and selling concert tickets.
Yes.
There was like crowds of people protesting outside his shows, and he said, "It's too late. Only God can mute me. Am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because of your opinion?" That's what he said, and that's in the I admit.
See, dude. See, this guy don't care. You don't give two shits.
Meanwhile, during all this, dude, he's getting sued again by like a former girlfriend saying that he intentionally gave her an STD.
Oh my god. I thought, okay, so dude, I read a bunch of them and I thought that was more that was like a rumor, but is it true?
I think it is.
Oh my god. Because
So
there was two videos that I saw saying that chick was sued for defamation for after saying that, and then there was another video saying that she might have been underage when he did all of that.
she probably was, dude. Well,
See, dude. Ugh.
disgusting. I hate him, dude. He's evil. And then there was that. So this is where his case really, really took off. Is in 2019 when that documentary came out, "Surviving R. Kelly." That's where it really took like a deep dive into the allegation. So that if you're listening, you should go watch this. It's crazy. So 2
Part 1
weeks.
and part 2.
There's actually 6-hour like long episodes. I don't know if there's more out than that now, but that's how many were out. So you're gonna have to sit there for 6 hours, but it's worth it, dude. 2 weeks after this documentary comes out, his record label finally drops him. So it took a long ass time. His concerts that he had in the United States and in New Zealand, all of them were canceled.
Damn, he was popping in New Zealand, bro. They were
Mhm.
still feeling ignition over there. I'm just
In that same year, a lawyer came forward and said he actually got a video showing R. Kelly having sexual relationship with a 14-year-old girl. So he then, a couple weeks later in Chicago, gets charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. He pled not guilty and gave a historic TV interview. So I have the interview and I'll put it in our little link thing. Prosecutors later filed an additional 11 charges of sexual assault and abuse against a minor, ages between 13 and 16. So it just kept getting literally worse and worse, dude. This is disgusting.
All right, Miranda. One more thing. I'll bring you back to Aaliyah one last time.
Okay, one last time. Hit it, dude.
Last time. Okay, so when Aaliyah released her first album,
Yeah.
can you guess what the album's name was, Miranda?
Dude, I don't know, like R. Kelly or something.
Hey, well, okay, so R. Kelly is in the album, right?
Yeah.
But the album is called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
Oh my god, dude.
And and you know who the executive producer and writer on that album is?
R. Kelly.
Of course.
Oh my god, dude.
So see, dude. See, the key was Aaliyah, and they got rid of her.
Yeah. That was it, dude. Well, so we were talking about the sex cult earlier, is what they call it online. That ends up giving him sex trafficking charges, right? So now he got 2 separate like federal indictments in Brooklyn and Illinois. It says the allegations depicted an organized effort from the singer and his associates to recruit and transport underage girls over state lines for illegal sexual purposes, including the production of child sex abuse images, as well as conspiracy to obstruct justice by destroying the evidence and bribing and threatening witnesses.
Oh my god.
And that was in July of 2019. So then in August of 2019, he also got prostitution charges filed against him because
this is basically him. These are the years he's getting caught, right? Because he's been doing
this is when he's getting caught, because he's been doing this for his whole career, his whole life. So the prostitution charges are actually from something that happened way back in 2001. So a teenager came up and asked him for an autograph, and he ended up inviting her back to his hotel room, and then he gave her $200 to undress and dance with him.
That's it? No, I'm just kidding.
No. And then he said that it was absurd that didn't happen. So then at this time, he is like, he's in jail, right? So in 2020, towards the end of August, he was attacked in his sleep by a fellow inmate, dude, in the Chicago prison. So then at this point, he gets attacked. This could have all been part of this conspiracy, though, right? Because if you're not safe in prison, you can like try to get yourself released. So at this point, he gets like attacked in his sleep. His lawyer tries to call for immediate release, saying that the government cannot ensure his safety.
It's like,
it was
so
obviously,
we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care if he's safe, dude. So then, obviously, like that was denied. They were like, no. But this is going to tie in. The reason I tell you this is because this is going to tie in with your stuff. So in August of 2021, the Aaliyah relationship is finally like officially confirmed in like a pretrial hearing.
Oh,
so
God.
During the hearing, the judge asked one of the singer's lawyers whether they denied the star had sexual relations with Aaliyah when she was underage. According to the Associated Press here, the guy, he took out let out a deep sigh and responded, no, that he couldn't deny it. Yeah. So then they end up going to trial at the end of 2021, and obviously he is guilty. So he is serving life in prison now.
But look,
he was sentenced.
Like 30
he was sentenced to 30 years, but he also got an additional 14 years just recently. He's jailed for 30 years after being found guilty of 8 counts of sex trafficking and 1 of racketeering. But he also, I was just reading it earlier, got like an additional 14 years added just recently because of something else that he did. I think it has something to do with one of the videos that were found. But so he's gonna be in there. I mean, he's old.
Yeah,
so,
he's gonna be old. He's gonna be in there fighting for his life.
Well, he's 56 right now, and he just started serving the sentence in 2022. So, and it's 30 years at minimum, and I don't think he has the option for parole at any point. So they finally got him, dude. It only took literally our whole entire lifetimes. This shit started
Okay.
before we were born, Jesus. That's insane. So he gets sentenced to the 30 years, but then there's another one. There was another case that had actually started on him in Chicago because that was his New York sentence, was to the 30 years in prison for using his celebrity status, to abuse women. That's what he was doing. Because if he wasn't famous, like he ain't good looking, so no one's gonna. He's just gonna have to kidnap people, I guess. But he did use his status to
He used
lure
his
people
voice,
in.
bro. His singing
Mhm.
voice. He's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm R. Kelly."
But so there's like all these other cases. In September 2022, he did get another guilty verdict for more stuff with children. And then in November of 2022, his former manager, actually is sentenced to 20 months in prison for stalking and harassing one of his victims because he tried to like threaten one of the victims and intimidate them to be quiet.
He's like, "You better not say nothing."
January 2023, Chicago prosecutor said she was dropping sexual abuse and assault charges dating as far back as 1998 against R. Kelly, who was already facing decades in prison. So she went back and said she was going to drop some of those. She said sometimes justice is served even when there is no conviction. That's literally what she said. But February 2023, 20-year sentence for child sex crimes. So a Chicago judge sentences R. Kelly to 20 years following the 2022 trial in which a jury found he had enticed minors for sex. However, in a victory for the singer's lawyers, the judge said that all but one of those years would be served at the same time as his previous 30-year sentence. So yeah, he's dying in there.
Yeehaw, brother.